Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a little bit of an interesting discussion going on because as of right now, we actually are seeing a lot more people kind of going and throwing some heat over at Sony. I'm sure you guys probably know because we talked about it, but basically they had a lot of drama in regards to the Horizon Forbidden West, which basically never had like an easy free PS4 to PS5 upgrade. And then they actually did go on record to go and basically state, hey, it actually will be free, but all the other future things are going to cost money. And of course, whenever there's an official kind of big overall kind of industry changing, especially when it comes to Sony change, and also right before a brand new Sony event, which is on Thursday, which also once again might include even more games, a lot of people get a little bit upset, a little bit more frustrated, and of course kind of put in their 2 cents. So we've been seeing this kind of floating around, and actually finding kind of a nice little editorial over here to kind of discussing it. And I kind of want to go and chime in and kind of give my thoughts and use this as a good normal framework as per usual. And of course, if you guys want to give your thoughts on the price point, on all these changes and everything, feel free to. This actually might be a kind of a big topic point for maybe either on Thursday or Friday, depending on how this brand new Sony event's going to go. So let's go and kind of dive in the video. If any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway going on. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well. Definitely go follow the Twitch stream. We'll be doing the Sony event on Thursday for sure. And as well, sign up for Weeble, deposit $100. You guys go get free stock, free money. Go ahead and basically you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. So always linked down below. And of course, like I said, give me your thoughts and comments on this. So let's go talk about it. So basically, even this article itself has said Sony's decisions surrounding the PS5 needs to be discussed. And of course, well, let's go and discuss it ourselves over here. So this past week, Sony baffled fans and critics alike by announcing that their Horizon Forbidden West would not have a dedicated upgrade path, kind of how I was telling you guys before the start of this video, kind of like a little recap for it, from the PS4 to PlayStation 5 version of the game. Not a free option, not a paid option, just an expensive deluxe edition you need to buy that contain dual entitlement to both versions. Past that, this is contrary to what they explicitly said a year ago. We kind of covered this up a lot in overall details. The Horizon will be one of the very few games like Miles Morales to receive a free PlayStation 5 upgrade. Past that, this feeds into the larger discussion about the fact that even if done correctly, Sony is asking for a $10 to upgrade games to the now higher $70 price point going forward. So on my very first things too, I do not like that $70 price tag. I do not like the idea of the PS4 to PS5 upgrade. We actually didn't really see that much from basically Xbox themselves. And like, I get it. There is extra work. There's extra stuff mixed on in. But I kind of feel like just from the goodwill, it just seems better. Just make it either a $60 flat, especially for a PS4 and PS5 game, or as well make the upgrade free. Like, they're still in the same ecosystem. They're going to keep on playing the game. And they already got the money from them from either the PS4 version or previous versions. And I think a lot of us can agree that $70 price tag, it's just a lot of money. It really is a lot of money, especially if we don't know if the game's going to be good. Good example was Returnal. It wasn't a bad game, but it was an unproven IP. Now, for a game maybe like God of War, I can kind of understand it more. There'll be a lot of extra details, and I'm expecting like the pinnacle of gaming for games like that. But for those like kind of more mid-tier games that could be good, could be bad, $70 is insane. So they had to reverse course and offer a free upgrade in the end after a lot of public outrage. But generally speaking, this seems to sum up the dual narrative about this whole console generation. On one side, you have many consumers saying that Sony keeps stumbling into the messes of its own making, which is true. Like, we've seen some bad statements on them trying to go and shut down the previous consoles, like the PS2, PS3s, and all that online. And then they eventually go and backtrack. Or even the same exact example with the Horizon, where they kind of just go and eventually kind of go and backtrack. Which I get it, like they are trying to fix their mistakes, but it is kind of weird that they have to kind of go and have a public outrage trend on Twitter to actually go make an actual mark on it too as well. And that some aspects of the PS5 are lacking compared to both the upgrades that they thought it would have over the PS4 and what its competition Microsoft is doing with the Xbox this generation. Now, this does kind of seem like a somewhat more on the buy side for Xbox. I will go and say, love my PlayStation 5. A lot of things are going good, but I don't mind critiquing it at times. But overall, I'm like pretty pro Sony. Then on the other hand, you have the people that are saying Sony is getting too hard a time, and it still makes great games, and the PS5 is a great console, and everyone is simply hating for its own sake, myself included. See, exactly what I literally just said 2 seconds ago. I know that I've come across this during this generation. I'm sure Sony itself has seen my articles and thought that, but what I want to do today is get a longer, hopefully reasonable article about what aspects of the PS5 and Sony's decisions surrounding it have bothered me this generation, and while it feels off compared to the PS4. So let's go talk about this. This is kind of like the meat and grit of it. So basically, to me, I'm getting similar vibes from the PS3 era of Sony, where after coming off the massive success of the PS2, Sony felt entitled to get away with certain things that didn't really fit. The most obvious example was the exceptionally priced price point on the PS3, which is one of the worst pricing decisions as well. But at least when it comes to the price stuff, kind of how you even mentioned over here, it's not really a PS5 problem. The disc version and digital versions are priced up fine, and I do think the PS5 Digital is actually priced amazingly well and is even priced better than the Xbox Series X, and no one wants the Xbox Series S. So in my experience with Sony's PS5 Decisions have also felt like a death by 1,000 cuts. I led a load of little micro annoyances that have added up over time, but also integrated with the larger structural problems that have made Xbox look better by comparison. And that's absolutely something they could have not said about the launch of the PS4 versus the Xbox One, which is actually very intriguing. I actually do agree on that, because I think a lot of gamers do favor the Xbox Game Pass. Game Pass and how Xbox has kind of been doing stuff. We did make a video on this yesterday, though, that basically, Xbox was getting a little bit of heat. But I think overall, it's nice. I really do think a lot of the Xbox things I wish would be on PS5. And I think you'd be dumb to go and disagree, because I think the PS5, with their own version of like a Game Pass, we could play Ratchet and Clank's God of Wars for like $20 a month maybe, would be phenomenal. I would love that. I would literally be day one on that. And then same thing too as well, is just there's so many good features that could be kind of yoinked over for the PS5. Now, I still love my PS5, but I definitely do think the Xbox overall is building a really good future for gaming. So even he goes and says, I'm not an Xbox fanboy. They played this PS5 probably 5 times as much as my Xbox One. When all was said and done last generation, they're still playing the PS5 more than the Xbox to this day, which I agree. I think the PS5 just seems a little bit more in-depth. I mean, especially for a PC. They're both great, though, and too as well. And there's just saying how they have like a lot more of other random stuff over here, too. But basically, they're cops. Patch copying. It remains saying to me that a full generation went by, with the PS5 focused extensively on promoting its hyperfast SSD, and we still have to copy patches after downloading them on the system. Yes, it's faster than it used to be, and yet Sony had an entire generation to figure out a way to patch games, which I agree. I feel like some things, like we all kind of go and vouch on the SSD and these big bad boys, and if they have some issues, it's, not the best. And same thing too as well with the price points, and same thing too as well with this kind of weird controversy of like them kind of just, I just feel like Sony just doesn't want to throw us a bone. I think Xbox, they'd be down. They don't mind throwing us a bone. They don't mind kind of losing a little profit. But Sony, I think they're very dead set on trying to make as much as they can, which is okay. They're a business, but overall it's something kind of critique them on. The UI design. Honestly, I gotta be honest, I like the PS5 design. I know, honestly, like, in this article, he says, without question, the UI of the PS5 is a downgrade from the PS4. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I kind of like the PS5. Like, I think I prefer this. Like, you guys give me your thoughts on that. I'm actually kind of curious, but I definitely think prefer that. You have to forget years of muscle memory to relearn a simple action like shutting down the system and all that type of stuff too as well. I will go and say I don't like the advertisements. I will be honest, that is definitely a big kind of critique on that. But I think the UI actually looks very, very nice. Save transfer and generational upgrades. And we talked about this before. This is actually even a topic that Xbox was getting heat on too as well. And even they were saying, yes, Sony's not as good. I even said that yesterday. I will admit that I mocked the concept of Xbox Smart Delivery when they first announced it, as I didn't understand why you would need to name some of the obvious simple processes of going from one generation of a game to another. Then I tried doing the PlayStation, and first there was a cost, in which usually involves either a $10 upgrade fee that Microsoft does not have, or the utter nonsenseness of just enduring the Horizon Deluxe Edition. And basically, that's like what we kind of been like the big drama throughout the week. And I do think that's kind of true. Like there is actually a pretty convoluted process, because you literally could have a PS4 and PS5 version of the same game. And there was even times when I first got my PS5 for the old Call of Duty that I was literally playing on the PS4 version for like a week, because I just never realized, because it was kind of just a new format. Now, I've had my console for a while and I'm kind of more used to it, but it is kind of just a weird thing overall in general with boys too. It's just really, really weird. Even though Xbox did get some pretty big drama mixed on in for it, but it does seem so much nicer. And also even for the cloud. This actually even happened to me too as well. When I was trying to get my Ghost of Tsushima stuff, I had to actually have PS Plus just to upgrade my files to the cloud. And like some of these things are actually like valid critiques. They're not big deals, they're not crazy things, but it's kind of somewhat valid, I'd say. Actually, look exactly here. When I tried to play Ghost of Tsushima's new expansion, I found my own save file was just gone. Yeah, and I literally had to go and find the cloud. I actually had the same exact issue as this. I actually, like, very, very true. And I think one of the bigger things, too, is this $70 price point. Like, I think this is the most major focus for all, where basically it's just like that weird upgrade and weird other price. It's just a lot. It's basically the broader question about the health of the industry and the future of game delivery. It just seems like such a strange move that in a generation that has Microsoft extolling the virtues of day one copies of all its first-party games on Game Pass, xCloud, and PC, that Sony has decided to champion the first major price hike in eons in the gaming industry. Which I agree. I think the Game Pass for $15, you get people gaming. Like, people enjoy the games. And especially now with this Horizon thing, it's just really weird. I just kind of wish that Sony would throw us a bone. I love Sony. I love my PS5, but I really do wish they'd just be a little bit more, less businessy. I am sympathetic to the idea that no, not every company is Microsoft and can do something as risky as launch every major AAA game for free. I'm in the same exact boat on a subscription service, but Sony has also done little to even attempt to compete with the Game Pass. And I've said this before, I'm not anti-Sony. I would love a PS5 Game Pass, even if it's like $30. Guess what? I'd probably do it. I would be down. Like, even if there's like a bunch of hype out games coming out, I would love it. And then also on top of that, too, that $70 price point was just a badly timed move for the generation, especially with the pandemic going on and stuff like that. Now, of course, I've said this many times. You can also make the case in point that Horizon God of War actually be really good too as well. And this is literally exactly what I said at the start before, so you guys know what I'm saying. Like, other people agree. Returnal, for instance, seems like a much tougher sell at $70, and it's also just not like it hasn't proven its worth. Same with Godfall 2 as well, which makes a lot of sense. In the end, and I kind of like to wind down this article for this, I don't think the issue is black and white. Sony has still done many things well this generation, which I agree on too, including its continued production and must-have exclusives that have seen no drop in quality. The performance is great, the DualSense is great, and everything else too as well. And of course, Microsoft even got in drama as we covered yesterday. And of course, too, a lot of people are also enjoying the really nice Game Pass as well. Like, a lot of things out here too. And I do kind of agree, Sony is in this awkward stage where I think they're just trying to figure stuff out. Like, once again, this PS4 thing, it could be really bad depending on what the event's going to be tomorrow. Maybe they'll have a lot of good games. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll have only like the same 3 games they mentioned, and then it's $30 total, and we're all making a big deal out of nothing. But what if they announce like 5 more games, and that's going to be an extra even more, like $80 just to actually be able to go play the game on both consoles? And a lot of us don't know when we're even going to get our consoles in the first place. So this is just a very intriguing point. There's been a lot of interesting things too as well. And I do kind of hope that Sony, with these really small critiques, more so on the price point and this big Horizon drama that's still kind of coming on out, and people are still critiquing them on, fingers crossed they'll actually have a nice solution for it, or it's just more of those really weird, like, awkward and transitional periods that about like maybe a year from now we won't care. But the fact that they keep on making games on PS4 and they're still sticking on old gen, this is actually something like they're getting a lot of heat for, and I think it's somewhat justified. So give me all your thoughts and comments down below. A lot of little baby bits and pieces of this throughout the video, the little critiques. And yeah, just give me your thoughts. As well, I'm really hyped up for the event, and hopefully they'll be able to go into address and talk about a lot of these different things and kind of see how they're going to be doing for the future. But as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well. Link down below. Sign up for Weeble. Deposit $100. You guys go get free stock, free money. Go ahead and you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Those are always linked down below. And thank you guys all so much for watching. Give me your thoughts as well down below.